Close. Uno.
Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of the SharpSHOOTers. As always, I'm your host Danny and Juice. How you doing tonight, Juice?
Danny, I believe the word for it is L mixed bag.
Oh, interesting.
I believe those are the words.
All right, well, mixed bag is good because tonight we're going to be talking about our points of the week with WWE and AEW. If you've never been here, this is our last points standing segments. Every Thursday, 8 o'clock, we do this and we talk about just the weekend review, and sometimes we have predictions. This week we do not, so we're just solely talking about WWE and AEW. Before we get to that, we want to, as always, thank our official band of the podcast, Accept the Wind. You see them and their music videos now before and after the show and during the breaks. And if you have not, or if you can please do, we need some subscriptions. I'm just going to say it. I'm begging it. We need 6 more. We want to get to 10. Please show us a sub. If you got it, Amazon Prime, it's free, doesn't cost you a thing. Do it on your laptop. For some reason, it doesn't work on the app. Very annoying. But all the instructions are on the side here. Help us out. With that being
Money,
said,
please.
money, please. With that being said, I'm pulling up our last point standing list right next to us. Oh, let's see. That looks a little.
So,
I'm gonna
just to
fix
share
this.
while Danny's bringing
There
that
we
up,
go.
one thing I do want to call out here really quick. As much as this week has been what it is, I did have some good news this week. I don't know if I told you about it, Danny, but months ago, I had lost my Adam Copeland shirt
Oh,
from the
really?
All Elite.
I didn't know that. I would have been so sad for you if you lost it.
I well, I thought I did.
What'd
Couldn't
you do?
find it for the longest time, and I didn't know what happened to it. And I kept looking. I kept looking. I thought it was just a goner, and yeah, turns out that it was just in my closet, turned inside out the whole time, and yeah. So here we are. So I found the shirt. I was very happy, very relieved. So
I'm very happy
I
for you,
throw it
bro.
out, throw it out for tonight. Try and get some good vibes going.
I got my Danhausen shirt on in support because I saw the first point and I looked it up and I'm very sad about that.
Yeah.
But
All
we're
right.
not there yet.
Yep. So let's get started. And as always, if there's anything you guys are watching in the chat that you don't see here on the list, throw it in chat. Let us know if you really want to talk about it. Share your thoughts. We will be happy to discuss. So, first off, let's talk a little bit AAA. I don't know if you heard this news, but last week, Angel Garza and Humberto won the AAA tag team titles,
Hey, good for them. They get to win something.
which I just find hysterical because it's just, even more so of WWE. Oh, we're not going to make it not AAA. We're not going to get involved that much. And here they are putting the tag belts on one of their tag teams. So already a great start.
Do they wear them on
And
SmackDown?
I guess you'll see tomorrow if they're on, but I don't know. And then something else I noticed is that for those of you that don't know, Alberto Del Rio is in AAA as Alberto El Patron.
Which I hate.
And
I gotta fix
he
something. I'm
was,
listening to you.
that's fine. He was the AAA champion when WWE acquired AAA. And on their, I believe it was their first show since being acquired then, they had Vikingo beat Alberto for the AAA title. Now, for those of you that don't know, Alberto is the heel, Vikingo is the face. But what ended up happening was, I guess on the very next show when they were both on, the crowd completely rejected Vikingo.
That's
Like
crazy.
they booed the hell out of him and they cheered the hell out of Alberto because the crowd, they see through that bullshit. And they know it's WWE taking it off of Alberto and putting it on their guy that they want to make like the face. And as much as the fans liked Vikingo, I guess they just hate the idea of it and they're rejecting it completely. I find it amazing. I wanted to see if you had any thoughts on that, if you had even heard about that.
I didn't hear about that, but that is fantastic. I hate that Del Rio gets to kind of get the rub, for the lack of a better word, from this. But
Maybe.
But no, I mean, it's great that they kind of reject that because it is bullshit that they're just going to come in here and start making their decisions. But we kind of knew that was going to happen, and that's what sucks. It's going to be like another feeder program almost, and that's what we don't want it to be, but that's what it's going to become.
Well, that's what Conan gets, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel bad for that piece of shit at all.
Not at all. I feel bad for the guys working there, not for Conan.
Yeah. Also, real quick, have you seen El Iguana? Or I don't know what they're calling him exactly.
Yeah, and the Bronson
Iguana,
Reed threatening to come and like squash him or whatever. Like that's it. They're gonna do it, and it's gonna be annoying, and I'm not gonna care.
Yeah, I just find it funny out of everybody, like even over Vikingo, like he's the one that's kind of getting over, and of course that's the one fans latch onto is the one with like the character gimmick thing. So I just find that very
Yeah, was it Ethan
have,
Page or someone who made a little comment like, "I can't get on the main roster, and this little bastard does," or some shit like that?
Yeah, pretty hysterical. Because I know my brother in particular called out the hypocrisy and like fans like rejecting like WWE fans hating on Orange Cassidy, but then going and loving the Iguana guy. It's like the same ish idea of like a gimmick.
Whatever. Well, iguanas are more Mexican, so.
Than oranges, okay. So I haven't seen him in the ring. I don't know if he's even good or not. To be honest,
are we moving on?
We are moving on.
Oh, gotcha.
I was just wrapping up.
I didn't know if you were talking about iguana good in the ring. I was like, I have no idea.
Nope, I was just sharing my where I'm at on him. So I can't speak that much about him. Very quick, just wanted to bring up. I saw last week Omos, for whatever godforsaken reason, has signed an extension, multi-years, with WWE.
I saw that too. I don't care. I'm surprised you put it on here.
Well, I put it on there just for the absurdity of it, because it's like he's not good at all. Like, so of course that's what WWE does. They offered him an extension. Meanwhile, they fire all that other talent. And
because they're not attractions, he's an attraction for some reason.
But if he was an attraction, they put him on TV. They sent him to Japan. He was getting over in Japan, and then they pulled him from Japan to do nothing with him. Yeah, so I don't get what the hell the point of this extension was, but WWE, so whatever.
Doofuses.
That's it. Next up, I'm gonna let you start on this one. I mean, it's not like it was a huge spoiler or prediction, but I said it last week when I didn't want to wave the flag and celebrate Walter.
No, yeah, 100%.
And here we are.
And you said it, and I agreed, and it sucks just as much as we thought. I'm glad it's happening at Saturday Night's Main Event. I'm glad it's not going to be another fucking. Well, actually, no, I'm not glad. I would rather be at Saudi because I don't want to watch it. So, like, I'd rather be at a show that I don't want to watch, so I don't have to watch it. So yeah, I'm actually more surprised that's at Saturday Night's Main Event and not at Saudi because I figured they'd want him to bring him over there again, especially after his last match. Because wasn't that him and Undertaker last time he was at Saudi? That mess of a match.
I don't know if that was the last one. It might have been.
No, for him at Saudi.
Yeah, no, I know. Oh, just in Saudi. Probably. I don't know.
Saudi.
Whatever. Saudi.
Don't care.
Yeah. Well, they are in Atlanta for Saturday Night's Main Event. That's why they're doing it there. This is hometown.
So does Goldberg win?
Honestly, man, like probably. Like, I mean, because think about like
what. So yeah, because why take it off of Jay? To just have Gunther beat Goldberg, let Jay beat Goldberg. Who cares? Like they didn't take it off of Jay because they didn't like him as champion.
Yeah, you could have easily done Goldberg and Walter without the belt involved. You could have done it. It's really going to come down to are they going to wrestle a Goldberg match or a Walter match, and I think it's going to end up being a Goldberg match because Goldberg's not going over like 10 minutes.
100%,
just not. I think so. I saw something earlier. Somebody posted Goldberg's like last 10 or 15 matches, like the times. And I think only one went like 11 minutes. Everything else was under like 8. So he's not going that long.
No.
Especially on TV. So buckle up. Geez, sorry. Buckle up, everybody.
He's all choked up, man, because it's so bad. It's just a bad.
And
we knew it was coming.
It's just so funny because it's going to be the night of All In, too. So it's going to be like All In's going to be over. We're all going to be like riding whatever high potentially we're going to have from that. And everyone's going to go and watch that shit, and they're going to do it. And
Oh,
I'm
I will wait till Monday.
I'm
Like
so ready
I'm
for
good.
Peak because he can easily win it there, and then like 2-3 weeks later lose it at SummerSlam, and then
Yeah,
go out there. It really could, yeah, because that's the thing. They're not billing it as a retirement match, like or a tour. So I don't know, man. I think he's winning. Have fun, fans.
agreed.
All right.
Next
Next
up,
up, King and Queen of the Ring qualifiers. This is a big one. Might go a little bit over depending how much you have to talk about it. Men's side, we have Sammy versus Randy Orton. And we have Cody versus Jey Uso. Absolutely dreadful.
mm-hmm.
Complete waste of King of the Ring. Awful, awful, awful. And for the ladies, we have Jade Cargill versus Roxanne. And we have, I believe, Alexa Bliss versus Asuka,
Yes,
which is better.
much better.
We're promising.
And this
Much
is
better.
the second event or whatever in a row where I'm more excited about the women's than the men's. Just like Money in the Bank, this is another one where the women's feel, the women's matches, they're better, they're fresher. I'm more excited about these than the men's.
So, what did you think of the qualifying matches? Were they good? Were they booty
I honestly
cheeks?
thought
How'd you feel about the results too? Did you feel like that was who you thought it would be?
the results were expected but boring. Especially when we kind of realized it was going to be Uso, or when they announced it was going to be Uso or whatever. It's like, all right, we know he's coming in. I know what they're trying to do with the matchups. They're trying to make it like former friends that have to battle each other, blah, 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 because Orton is still a face, so Orton and Zayn, Rhodes and Uso, they just tagged.
All faces.
Huh?
Faces. All faces.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're doing like both sides, former friends facing each other and all that. Cool. I don't mind, I guess, Zayn and Orton. We just had Rhodes and Uso in there. Like, we don't need Rhodes and Uso right back in the mix. Like, give someone else just, even if they're not going to win it, just give them the spotlight for a little. Like, you could have had, and I know you don't like him, you could have had Reed in this spot. Let Bronson Reed, you're trying to put him over with this new faction. Let him go in this spot. You honestly could have had, and again, I hate him, Andrade or Priest. You're trying to push them, put them in a spot. Let them lose, that's fine, but at least let them get a win in a significant tournament. It's boring, man. It's the same people, rinse and recycle for the men's. It just sucks. The women's at least is exciting. Roxanne Perez versus Cargill. I don't like Cargill, but like I get her appeal, and that's a fresh matchup. And then Roxanne, once she gets away from this Judgment Day crap, especially now that we'll talk about that next with the Morgan thing. But when she gets away from that Judgment Day crap, she's gonna be great. I love what Bliss is potentially gonna be doing. Like, I'm excited that Bliss is back, and I love Asuka, so I'll never be upset that Asuka's in anything, and I just know they're not going to let her win, so I can't get my hopes too high for Asuka.
Yeah, the only surprise that really got me was Bliss winning, just because I assumed Charlotte was going to win.
I remember you saying that, yeah, and then when I was watching the match, I really was just like, yeah, no, they've been pushing Bliss, like, but I don't know. Like, either way, I wouldn't have been surprised, but like I'm glad with the Bliss win over Charlotte. Obviously, I think everyone is.
So, not the winner of the whole thing, but real quick, who you got for the finals, men's and women's? Not the whole tournament.
Uso Zayn.
Okay.
And I think the problem with that is they go two Raw guys, and I don't know if they want to go one Raw, one SmackDown. They're probably going to go one Raw, one SmackDown. Do they really go Orton Road? No, because that's two SmackDown.
Well, that doesn't matter. And clearly, at this point, they could do Raw versus Raw or SmackDown versus SmackDown.
Yeah, no, I think they go Zayn Uso. I think they're trying to go for that underdog storyline either way. Orton really hasn't, since he had the match, hasn't really been like doing much in the title scene, and Rhodes just came back, so they'll probably find a way to throw that at him. I don't know. Especially if it's two Raw guys, and that clears away for Rhodes at SummerSlam. And then for the women's, I would love Asuka. Not going to be Asuka probably. I think it's going to be Roxanne and Bliss. I think the women's are going to keep us guessing for Raw and SmackDown.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with Sammy and Cody. I think this is, yeah, I think that's it. I don't think Jay's gonna get this. I probably would love to do King Geet, but yeah, I'm gonna go with because it just I'm having a hard time seeing
King
Jay
Geet
beating
is terrible.
Cody on SmackDown, like
I
straight up,
honestly think there's gonna be
unless Cena gets
interference.
involved. Yeah. But either way, I do think Sammy will beat Randy, which again is going to be a hard one to see him pull off, but Sammy can do it. And then for the women's, I'm actually the opposite of you. I think it's Jade and Asuka. Um,
Interesting.
I don't think Roxanne gets past Jade. Granted, I don't know fully how hot Roxanne and Bliss are right now, but I just think Jade and Asuka would be the most exciting way to go with it.
So
But
I agree with you, but now, and again, we'll get to it in a second, but with what happened on Raw, I think that's going to push her more with the Judgment Day, and they're going to interfere to help her. And with Bliss, I think they're just trying to push Bliss. I unfortunately think, even though we've been saying it for weeks and we don't know when to happen, blah, 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 I do think they're eventually doing the Wyatt Six with her, and they got to put her in a position to, like, kind of surprise us with it, quote unquote. So I think maybe having her win might be like the night the reveal. I don't know.
all right, well, I mean, I don't know if they've given you any sliver of a reason to
None.
believe they're doing it on screen.
None.
So I really think you're kind of living in a fantasy here with this one.
Which is
But
fine. And
yeah,
and
yeah,
I do hope so, by the way. But my thing is that she hasn't really also gone away from, like, the Wyatt stuff. Like, she still does the move set. She still has, like, the dark personality sometimes. So they haven't directly tied her in with the Wyatt Six, but her character and her gimmick hasn't also changed. So, like, and maybe that's for the better. Maybe she just really enjoys it, and that's fine, and I'm totally fine with that. But until, like, there's either a character shift or something, it's just always there for them to easily go to. So, and it could be
all right.
last second. Who knows with WWE?
Moving on was Liv Morgan, huge part of the show, big blow to the company, to the Raw show, the women's roster. Liv Morgan suffering a dislocated shoulder this past Monday night on Raw in her match with Kairi Sane. The match was stopped, did not finish, and it turns out she will require surgery. Now, Liv Morgan was involved in multiple stories. She had something going on, it seemed like, with Io Sky. She had her never-ending saga with the Judgment Day and Raquel and Roxanne going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like they were buttering up a Raquel and Liv versus Bella's tag title match
Yep.
at Evolution. And now it turns out Liv Morgan will miss the next 6 months requiring surgery. So probably not due back until the Rumble. She will miss SummerSlam in her hometown. Just a really heartbreaking, hard blow. Probably the worst injury of the year so far. Am I forgetting anybody that legit got hurt this year? She's probably their biggest hit so far.
I mean, we would have to. I could look it up really quick, but it just.
I'm trying to think.
I didn't know how bad it was, because, like, even looking at it, like, when it first happened, it didn't look like a crazy move.
She fell wrong.
Just fell. She just landed wrong. Not even fell wrong, because she fell the correct way, but, like, just, I guess one arm was lower than the other. I don't know, but, like, it didn't look crazy. And then when they stopped the match and stuff, I was like, shit. Like, the fact that they stopped it and it didn't look bad makes me even more nervous about what the result's going to be. And then we got the terrible news.
I don't blame Kyrie. A lot of people were.
No.
That's just an accident. It sucks, but
like, and again, if you watch it, like, Kyrie didn't do anything wrong. She did a drop toe hold. Morgan went in and she just landed wrong. Like, that's all that happened.
Mm-hmm. So now, question becomes, what do you do?
So hold on. Yes. I'm trying to look at injuries for 20.
Yeah. Well, because, like, so for example, Orange Cassidy got hurt, but, like, he wasn't really that in stuff. Jay White got hurt. That was kind of a hit, but they moved on. This one just feels like a very significant.
Yeah, nothing significant that I see on this list.
No offense to Jay or Orange at all. I'm just saying, like, they were kind of both already past their stuff with Mox, and, like, the time off wasn't going to kill anything.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, whatever. Either way.
And with Orange, I don't even think that was like a legit like this is a months long injury. With Orange, I think it was like a short term thing, and then they gave him more time to like heal and rest up and stuff. Like Bronson Reed's the only one I can think of, but Bronson Reed was back in 2024, so like
yeah. Well,
he
didn't
kind of leaks
Orange?
over.
I thought Orange tore his pec. I thought it was serious.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was a torn pec.
It's not showing
But
up on
okay.
here, but I'll look it up. Anyway, what were you gonna say
So
about Liv?
so the question is now, what do you do? Because they're tag team champions, so the first thing you'd think is the belts have to be relinquished. But I don't. The only thing I hope, for the sake of everybody, is that Triple H just whatever triggers he was going to pull this summer, pulls them. Do not put this shit on pause until 2026. Don't wait till January when she's back. Whatever you were going to do with Roxanne turning or joining somebody, anybody, make Roxanne the avatar for Liv for all I care. You know what I mean? Make her fill the gap or make somebody else play that role. Just whatever you were going to do it in that sense with the Judgment Day. You know? I don't know how you feel about that, but
No, I
I just don't
agree
know
with
what they're
that,
going to
but
do.
I do think that they're gonna now just change it, and that's what I was saying. I think they're gonna try to push her, and I think they're gonna come up with some bullshit where she can take her place, like what they did with Jade and Bianca and Naomi.
Yeah, because the Bellas thing, that's whatever. I mean, it sucks, but you can pivot that way. You can do a mini tournament or whatever and have the Bellas still win them. The Io Sky thing, I mean, they've been there, done it already. Wasn't that new? It's the Roxanne Judgment Day stuff that was the biggest blow. But that's what I'm saying. Whatever turn you were going to do, just do it, get it done, over, move on, please.
I agree.
All right, that's all I got for WWE. Was there anything else you wanted to add or talk about? Anybody in chat of anything from WWE that maybe we didn't get into?
No, I was looking over some of the WWE stuff today. Honestly, those were the two big things on Raw. SmackDown was kind of boring. I'm really upset what they're doing with the tag team division with SmackDown. Man, they really just fell off a cliff with it. It sucks. And it's not even that like the teams suck. Everyone's still fine. They introduced Candice LeRae, which I'm pretty happy about. Like she's back and now working with DIY and stuff, so that's nice. But like, the Wyatt Six just really kind of is killing all the buzz. It sucks. It is what it is, though. Hopefully they salvage it at some time. On that note, we're gonna take a break, come back, and talk about some more mixed emotions with AEW. Let's see how that works out for us. BRB, everybody.
Os.
Hello and
Uno.
welcome back, everyone, as we start our AEW talk. But first, Juice wants to talk about something, and I don't care. I don't want to hear it.
It'd be whatever I want. No, I just want to plug next week's show. Just a reminder for anybody that did not join us on Tuesday this past week. Next Tuesday coming up will be our 100th episode. It is a
Crazy.
big one, folks. We will have the return of our former third host, Matt. He will be joining us here on the show. We're going to be discussing our worst WWE champions of all time. We will also be sharing what matches we think are the best ones to show a new fan of wrestling that they've never seen wrestling before. What are the best matches to introduce them to the art of wrestling? And from there, we'll be doing also our usual card pack on openings, trivia, and also the fantasy leaderboard update for this past week. And Danny, we won't get too much into it now, but yes, unfortunately, you did forget to submit a lineup this week.
I didn't hit send, is what happened.
And
I didn't hit send.
Without getting the last thing I will say about it for now, just a little teaser for everybody, is that Danny ended up having the fourth best score last night.
God works in mysterious ways sometimes, ladies and gentlemen.
So, no lineup submitted, but he had a really good lineup. And let me just say, Beast Mortos carried you.
Woo! Let's go, baby.
So, you have Claudio's travel issues to thank on that one.
Let's go, baby. This is what I'm talking about. Sometimes less is more. Moving on.
and you didn't want to talk about it. Shame on you.
I'm still very angry at myself.
So tune in Tuesday for the further reveal of the leaderboards, where we'll talk more about this endeavor. And
I still got a chance for Rushin up on Saturday. Collision's his hometown, baby.
Nothing's been announced for it. Rush is from fucking Kent, Washington?
No, it's like Collision is his hometown, like the actual show.
I was like, what? He's not from Kent.
I meant to say his home, and then town just followed because this is wrestling, and it's just always hometown. Well, shut up, Juice. Move on.
Rush is also banned from CMLL, so that's why he wasn't there last week. But so tune in Tuesday, episode 100. We'll also have many surprised guests, some old, some new.
Many? What the fuck?
It'll be a fun time, y'all.
This is not true. None of these guests are good. They're not real.
You don't even know who's attending, all right? I'm putting in work.
You just said past guests. We've never had any real past guests.
Yes, we have. True fans of the show know who we've had on before. Okay, moving on. It is time to talk AEW. There was no Collision this past week, so we only have AEW Grand Slam. But first, some little news items to talk about. Unfortunately, Danhausen and Private Party, not the newest trio on the block, not a new stable on your TVs. Word has come out this past week that both acts, their contracts are ending, and they will not be renewed. So it looks like they will become free agents. They will not be re-signing with AEW, and it's a bummer. I mean, it seems like Danhausen was never a true fit. I don't understand why Tony even got him to begin with. He never used them to his full potential. And Private Party, man, like, sorry, after that tag title run, I don't blame them at all for leaving. Tony completely fucked them up.
100%.
A lot of people came in and took their reps, and they weren't able to get a lot of work done. Were they amazing? No. Am I a huge Private Party guy? No. But they're entertaining. They're good. They're decent. They're good. And I think it's just a shame. They got really hit hard with the tag title reign. Pissed me off. I don't blame them for leaving. I wish them the luck wherever they go. I don't think they'd go WWE, but hey, who knows, man? And Danhausen might. He's close with Punk. He might go. And especially now with the Lucha stuff, maybe they'll bring his kind of character in. But either way, it's a bummer they're all leaving. But
they need a new comedy act to replace R-Truth anyway, so.
Yeah, I really don't blame the three of them. Even
Dan
Danhausen.
I don't either.
He came back his final battle, and that was it. Nothing. So, bizarre.
No, I agree with you 100% with all aspects. I love Danhausen. I'm a big fan. It sucks. Like, you don't have a lot of good characters anymore in wrestling, and he's one of the few. let him rock. But yeah, no, TK never used him well. If he goes to WWE, it wouldn't be the worst thing. It's not like they're gonna literally let his character just be his character and maybe just give him some more like, mystical stuff to work with his voodoo and curses and stuff. So let's see there. Private Party, I mean, that's another one. They might be able to benefit from WWE just because like they are still a little raw, so they do need a little more training and stuff like that. But as we see, like, they'll do good in NXT with the tag teams, and then once they get to the main roster, they'll probably be just fodder for a while. So who knows?
It really makes you think, like, did he just give them the belt to try and like butter them up to stay? Because he did the same thing with Garcia like a year ago. I mean, that wouldn't have paid off.
But I was just say Garcia had a better run.
Yeah.
All right.
He did.
Next one.
Bummer. Excuse me. Next up, Jon Moxley lawsuit.
Ridiculous.
Those of you that did not hear, I don't think this was on Monday. Either way, it was earlier this past week. A former crew member sued Jon Moxley and AEW for aggravated assault and battery and all that good stuff for allegedly causing him severe cervical damage and emotional stress and all that stuff. I don't know if you saw the clip. This happened back in 2023. I think it was during the Omega cage match on Dynamite.
Yeah, I saw the clip.
And Mox pulls a screwdriver out of his pocket really quick and pushes him on the ground. But hey, I'm not going to say it's soft. I mean, listen, it's very dangerous what wrestlers do. If he signed a waiver or some sort of liability thing, then yeah, he's dumb for doing this, for calling it out now after the fact. Because apparently he got fired or demoted recently from that job, not from AEW, but from the company that I guess that employed him there. And apparently that's why he's choosing now to do it. I don't know if that's true. I read it on the papers,
the dark web.
The dark order web. And yeah, I mean, it looked bad. And for a common guy doesn't see it coming, holding a camera like that and taking a fall, like, it could hurt. So if he didn't sign a waiver and it's legit, I don't blame him. Get your money. But I don't know what you thought about it.
I don't know. I'm kind of in the boat where like the camera guys also know that they're kind of part of the show. I don't know if he actually got hurt or not. So that's where I'm just like iffy on like that's where I always go with it. Where like if you really got hurt, and again maybe I don't know the situation, so I'm speaking out of no knowledge of it. But if you really got hurt, why wait 2 years to sue? Like, if you really got hurt, you need to pay the medical bills earlier. You need to do all that stuff earlier. Like, or at the very least, if you really got hurt, TK seems like the type that he's giving out like medical insurance to wrestlers. Like, he might be willing to cover it if you like showed him the stuff. I don't know. It just seems like it's a money grab now that you're specifically suing like Moxley and then AEW and stuff like that. So it strikes me as weird. If he did legitimately get hurt, I do agree. Yeah. If you legit got hurt and didn't know that you were going to be part of the show, which that's the only thing. That's the only thing I would have to know also. Like, how much experience this guy has as a cameraman in wrestling? Because, like, once you've been there for over a year, you know you're part of the show. Like, they get shoved all the time. The cameras get taken out of their hands all the time. Like, they are part of the program and they are at risk of this kind of stuff. So, like, it just strikes me as such a weird scenario.
Yeah, I just feel like, just if he signed a waiver or something like that, so be it. But I just feel like if Mox didn't plan or call that spot out with the guy in advance, yeah, it's a dick move for Mox just to push him. I think. I don't think like everyone around ringside's fair game. I don't, especially like I don't. So
all right,
I don't know. Yeah. Like, it is. It's a funny one. We don't know the whole story. Just from
that's really what it is. I just don't know the whole story. Like, and it's more the timing. I feel like if this was a few months ago, I'd be like, all right, like he's legit hurt. He needs to get paid. Whatever. This is 2 years ago, and now he's suing. It's like that's the only part that I'm like iffy about. Like if he really got hurt, and that's where it is for me. Yeah. Did he really get hurt? If he really got hurt, get him paid. Yeah. Like the guy needs to get paid. He needs to fix his shit.
He'll settle. I'm sure he'll get money. Okay. All right. Next up, Beast Mortos.
Apparently, my boy.
breaking my heart and the hearts of millions around the world. Happy for you. God bless. Do you. The Mercedes Monet Beast Mortos are an item. And crushed in pain. Probably why I had such a hard time watching Dynamite last night.
Now, what about this? Because this is a true life Beauty and the Beast. So what about this pains or hurts you?
I believe it was the great Dolph Ziggler that once said, "It should have been me. It should have been me."
You're apparently not beastly enough for her, Juice.
I could have pulled it off. If you gave me the mask, you wouldn't know. But I have to give Beast Mortos credit. I've not seen his face. But from what I have seen, he looks like a very handsome man. I'm very upset. I have nothing funny to say. I'm just legit sad. Lost another one.
I mean, that also explains why he had such a big week this week on Fantasy. He was riding high. He's on that Monet train.
Well, people joked about that because Claudio had travel issues. So Tony went to Mortos to get him to wrestle. And everyone's like, oh, Mercedes used her pull. But it was funny timing. But I don't know the full details on this one, but apparently Mortos was also banned from ever wrestling at CMLL ever again. I think he left on bad terms when he went to TNA because if you remember, he used to be called Black Taurus.
No, I didn't.
All right, well, he used to be called Black Taurus, Taurus, and he had to change his name because he went to TNA, and they wouldn't let him keep the name. It was a whole big thing, so he became Beast Mortos. And yeah, so Tony had to go to the CMLL CEO, not Mercedes Monet, and get him to like agree and be okay with him wrestling on the show. So it was a big deal that he wrestled on the show last night.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's all I got on Mortos. Just hurt, I'm in pain. Wanted to grieve a little bit here.
Good for you, Mortos.
Say it now.
Moving on.
Okay. Now we move on to Dynamite. I'm going to try and be as nice as I can.
Oh, no. I was afraid of this. Go ahead. I need to hear what you're going to say.
And as clear as I can. I understand. I understand what they were doing, why they were doing it. I absolutely get that it touched a lot of people and it meant a lot to a lot of people. I hated the Adam Page opening promo. And it's going to be a very white boy ignorant thing of me to say. I know. Call me what you will. This is not a brand new thing either. I've said it before here on the show. I hate it when any wrestler is not speaking a promo in English because, quite frankly, I just don't understand it. I know. And it sounds completely dumb and ignorant coming out of my mouth, but it's just the truth. I don't know what they're saying. I can't get behind it. I can only go react off the crowd. And props to Excalibur for trying to fill in the gaps. But he quickly gave up and let Page just go. So again, I completely understand it. Get why they did it. I value the people that got something out of it. Good. But I don't like it because half the time when they cut promos in wrestling and they speak a different language, they end up just saying the same thing twice because they say it again in English right after so the English people can understand it. And it's like, just don't do it then. It just drives me nuts. It drives me, if I'm watching a different, I don't know. So I know this is not a good look, doesn't sound good, but I want to be honest with you and our viewers. I didn't like it.
So
what did you think?
I knew you weren't going to like it for that exact reason. And I knew it had nothing to do with how Adam Page did it. I knew it had nothing to do with any of that stuff. It was legitimately because you wouldn't understand it. I also was getting annoyed, not at Excalibur, but a little bit at Excalibur, because he also wasn't translating everything right. So, like, some of the stuff he was translating, because he was trying to do it so quick, and it's kind of not his fault, but, like, Juice just said he failed high school Spanish.
So, funny, I took Spanish for 4 years. Straight A's the whole way through.
Bro, that was a pretty gringo white boy, like, basic Spanish promo. Like, if you pass 4 years of high school Spanish, you should be able to understand at least half of that
Bro,
promo.
can I tell you, I learned it, held it for those 4 years,
God.
graduated,
And
gone.
like you could tell Adam
Gone.
Page, props to him. He really did his
Yeah,
best
listen,
to like work with someone in the back, really get the like his R's were rolling really well. I'll give him credit. And a lot of that Spanish he really like practiced. He wanted to pay respect to it. So I really do appreciate that. I wish that they had worked with Excalibur better, because if Excalibur kind of knew when the pauses were coming, he could have translated that a lot easier, and it would have helped so much more. But because he didn't know, he like you could tell he waited too long, because there were like gaps where he wasn't talking, and then he would start, and then Page started. So he's like, "Oh fuck, now I gotta like stop." And I totally get it.
Yeah, and I understand you want to do an authentic like CMLL show versus like an AEW show in Mexico. Like I get it, but it's a primarily American television show. They should have just had Excalibur talking over him with a louder mic.
I agree with that
English,
too, because we don't need to hear him, or like if. Or if you, I mean, some fans at home maybe, but like most of the fans that are really listening to that are the fans in the building. I do agree with you. At one point, I was saying that too. I was like, just let Excalibur talk over him. It's not like the people who are at home not understanding are going to understand all of a sudden. And I don't think you get enough backlash from the Spanish speakers that can't hear him. If you're watching on TV, there's a good chance you understand English, or at least you have the SAP button on, so like you'll hear the translated version anyway. So yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. In that aspect of how frustrating it was.
Yeah, no, for sure. And again, for what it's worth, truly, I do apologize if I offended. I did not mean anything in that way. Just, it's how I feel. It's when someone comes out and speaks in Japanese or fucking Bulgarian. It's how I'm gonna feel.
So you know what's funny about that? Because
in a promo.
I was thinking about it, like, as you were saying, I was like, no, I love when they speak Spanish, obviously, because I understand them. And then I was thinking, it's like, what about the Japanese? And like when Asuka goes, and like in my head, I don't care that I don't understand them, because I'm just watching them kind of like get all fiery and be more natural with their promo. So I kind of get behind them in that aspect. But like, I totally get how it's frustrating that you just don't know what they're saying.
So last thing, and then we can move on from it. My prime example of this was the very end of the show. Match ends. Adam Page comes out. And Excalibur says Adam Page said earlier tonight he was not allowed in the building during the match. And then when the match ended, he could come out. And then he was coming out. That detail was completely lost on me because he said it in Spanish. No one ever said it throughout the night that Page was banned from the building during the match.
Well, yeah.
And then he can come back in. So that's kind of my point. Like, that important detail, at least get it to your English-speaking fans. But
no, I agree, because what's funny is because I heard him say it, so I was like, oh, I can't wait for after the match.
Yeah, like I had no clue. I didn't know he was banned. Why the fuck would I think he was banned from the building otherwise? But whatever. All right. Now...
Welcome to How They Feel. Anyway, moving on. 14-man tag team match.
That was me being nice. Now, this 14-man tag was fucking awful. The worst match AEW has put on this year, hands down.
Surprising with the talent that was involved.
When all is said and done, if I really had to think about it, it's definitely in the top 10, probably even higher than that all time for AEW. It's an awful match. Like, and again, I'm putting it out there. I know Lucha Libre tag rules. I know CMLL. I know that's how it works. That everyone just stands outside the ring, one in, one out, no tags. I get it. Still hate it. I never liked it, and I didn't know they were going to do it. I should have known they were going to do it. And the match was awful. Very, very sloppy. No rhythm, no organization to it.
And sorry, I'm going to cut you off. That's what I was going to say was I didn't mind the no tag because we talked about it last week, and that's the CMML rules and yada yada yada. So that's fine with it, but at least make it work. Like if you're going to do that, like know your spots, have a rhythm, know who's going to be seen, who's not going to be seen. There's 14 of you. You got to know how to do that kind of thing. And it really was just like the camera would go to one person, they weren't doing stuff, so it would like quickly change to another pair, and like, or the pair was kind of boring and you could see that they were like just being there because there was supposed to be something else going on. Like it wasn't good.
And then in the final minutes, half the match disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Like Cole and Fletcher, whatever, just fight away. Everyone just disappeared. Half the people. I'm like, all right, so what the fuck there? And then I understand they wanted to end it. They wanted to follow up on the story from the previous week with Atlantis and Atlantis Jr. and FTR. But for whatever reason, Cash Wheeler also couldn't make it. I guess because of travel or visa issues as well.
Yeah.
So Cash wasn't there, which was fine. But if you didn't know this, I know Excalibur explained it, but Atlantis and Atlantis Jr. are apparently super hated by the Mexican community right now.
Fucking hilarious.
Because essentially Atlantis Jr., Atlantis' son, is getting what I've been told is the mix of like a Dominic Mysterio, Roman Reigns-esque push, where he's getting the Nepo baby pushed down our throats kind of like push here. And the fans, just like AAA, surprise, are just rejecting the shit out of them.
That's hilarious.
For it. And it's great, but also like somebody had AEW had to know. Someone had to know, and they like going into it. Yet they still went with the opening match finish being Atlantis rolling up Dax and getting booed for it.
Mm-hmm. And that
even
looks
though
so
Dax
weird.
Is the heel and Atlantis is the face, the crowd didn't even want to cheer it because they hate Atlantis right now. So again, I get you want to follow up on your story from last week, but for an opening match where you want to get the baby faces winning in a pop, because as far as I can recall, besides Hologram, I think heels won the rest of the night, but we'll get to that. How do you not? Whatever. I thought that was completely dumbfounded. I hated the match. At that point, I was ready to just turn it off and watch.
But Brody King hated her and Karana.
Yeah, which he's done before. Whatever.
Sorry, Jade Falco, that couldn't even get back in. And also, Freebird Matt will be on Tuesday's show, number 100. Tuesday. Make sure you turn in Tuesday if you want to see Matt, but keep staying on right now because we got a few more topics. Next up, MJF and Mystico.
There might even be tacos on Tuesday. Who knows?
No, I'm making tacos tomorrow.
It's not even Tuesday, you idiot. Okay, so MJF versus Mystico. Now, at this point, I was already kind of crashing. I was like losing my shit. Half an hour in, I was he's gone.
Well, you call me.
And he's back.
You call me stupid. It hurt my feelings.
You making? I called you an idiot.
Same. Oh, I'm so idiotic. I can't know the words.
You're so stupid. You don't know what idiot. Oh man. Okay. So MJF versus Mystico. Now. At that point, half an hour in, I'm already like, this show's not going to be for me. I'm not going to enjoy myself. I'm going to power through it. MJF, Mystico, that entrance for Mystico, for those of you that don't know, the former Sin Cara from WWE, that entrance was awesome. That was dope. Like, I felt that shit. That was powerful. Old men in the crowd. Old men in the crowd with their hands out, like crying and shit. Like this was like Jesus came down. So he came out wearing the old Sin Cara mask and like ripped it off and had the Mexican flag.
I loved it.
It was great. Great entrance. Honestly, dude, at that point, like my brain couldn't be convinced otherwise. Mystico should have won that match.
100%.
I was so pissed. They did the ending thing.
And it doesn't make sense for the story because he's not going to stick with this America stuff. He's not going to stick against the like he's moving on. 100%. I was shocked. It didn't make sense to me. I don't know why.
So for those that did not watch and are here with us live, what happened last night? MJF versus Mystico going at it. Good match. Very good match. I enjoyed the hell out of it. They were hitting all their beats, having fun out there. It was awesome.
I also love MJF in the new MVP outfits. They look fantastic. It's great.
Yeah, it was awesome. MJF just kicks Mystico right in the dick, right in front of the referee, and then pushes the referee and gets disqualified, and then pulls off Mystico's mask. Everyone comes out to save the day. They give Mystico another mask to put on to cover his face, and the heels walk away. And the story's not over I do think some people were saying they're going to run back MJF Mystico and
At
they're going to
All
do
In.
mask versus hair. Um, so that's the current word on the
Bro,
streets.
if they
And
shave MJF's head, I'm gonna lose it. That'd be dope.
so if that's the payoff, awesome. Um, but man, that just felt like the move. It felt like the moment to give Mystico that win. Like in Mexico, I wanted it. The crowd
And
wanted it. I was
honestly,
pissed.
you could have still had all that happen post match with like a angry MJF, little fucking
Yeah,
sore loser. That's how you get the rematch, and you could still give him Mystico that moment in fucking Mexico, man.
yeah.
I
It
agree
was a
with you.
very it reeked of a very political finish
Yeah, I agree
where
with
two
you.
companies don't want their guys to lose. Um, MJF could have lost there, but whatever. Uh, so with this result, my mind was pretty much solidified then with the next match, where you did that non-finish. You were not going to do another non-finish here. I was pretty much set on okay, Mercedes Moné is going to win CMLL Women's World
Yeah,
Title, and they did it. She won the belt. It was not a very good match at all.
I
I
was gonna
don't think
ask what
Zusi.
you thought about it. I did not think for especially for a Mercedes match, for just in general a match, it was not a good match.
I just don't think Zusi's is good. I've seen her stuff, and
That was
I don't really care for it.
that was gonna be my next question because I don't know her at all. I was gonna ask you how she was, so then that's on par
Yeah,
for her type of match, which is unfortunate.
yeah, she's kind of just like middle of the road. Like for example, so this Friday, tomorrow night, I think she's fighting Catalina Mercedes Moné. She's defending the belt already
The
against
fucking
Catalina.
Catalina wine
Catalina's
mixer.
yes, Catalina's much better than Zusi's. That match is going to be much better tomorrow. I guarantee that. Also, the ending was very surprising. She did the like the Spanish fly flip, the botch move with Britt Baker last year. She did it here and beat Zuxis with it. So
Mm-hmm.
very odd finish. But Mercedes Moné now is known as Six Belts Moné, but she only has 4 championships. Um, Freebird, hey guys, I got a 5 stream watch streak. Awesome. Congratulations. We're so glad you've been with us for 5 straight streams.
On Tuesday, you should make it a
Awesome.
6 stream watch streak and come watch Matt.
That does sound like a very good idea. Thank you. Yeah, so she does have 6 belts now, but it's only 4 championships because the Owen Cup, I don't really count as a championship. It's a belt, but not a championship title. And the Rev Pro title, it's one title, but it's 2 belts because one of the belts was merged with it and retired, but kept around out of respect for the lineage of it. You know what I mean? So just so you and our viewers know, so while she is called Six Belts Monet, she's really only a four champion right now. TBS, CMLL, um, Germany, and Rev Pro. So those are her 4 right now. She lost
Well, at
the
least. All right. Well, Rev Pro is a lot better than Unified Championship, so I'll take that name over it.
Well, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I think the crowd at this point kind of knew it was coming, so they didn't really care for the match either. But I'm happy for Mercedes, and
Yeah.
I think she deserves everything she's getting out of this run. I know people are starting to get burnt and turning on her, but not me. I mean,
You don't really get a
we've
lot
been
of
through
these
years.
runs. I mean, listen, if you didn't mind the Kenny Omega run a few years ago, then really
Yeah,
this is kind of the same thing except for women's version. I think it's just as good, if not better. So I agree. I
it's bad.
like it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because like she's gone through years and years of getting shit on, and for Charlotte, for Bliss, for whoever was next up. So good for her getting this run. Um,
And
I do have
also,
to
like
say
a big
though,
problem was like her injury prone or blah blah blah. Like I'm glad she's able to
uh,
show that that it's not that she's injury prone. She was getting fucking in a maybe not so safe environment. Big surprise there.
I do have to say though, we are up for a crossroads though with her match with Tony
Yeah.
because win or lose, man, I have a hard time seeing where I have a harder time seeing where they both go if Mercedes wins. And I almost think that's the way you have to go at this point. To have her win all these belts and then fall short right there. But like the downfall has to happen. It can't be her relinquishing all the belts or combining all the belts to make like a global fucking thing, which I don't think they will do. But it crossed my mind earlier because they
I just don't think the other companies would let Tony do that. That's crazy if you're another company to let them take your world heavyweight title and combine it with another belt.
Yeah. Well, look what happened with New Japan and Ring of Honor when he tried it. He tried it and fucking failed spectacularly.
Yeah.
He's like, we're combining them to make the Continental Crown. And then
Jay DeFalco wants to know if you were jealous of the fan that held her when Tony went after her. Or did you not see it?
I absolutely saw it. It's been a hard enough week. Or I felt bad for that fan because now Beast Mortos is going to murder him.
That's true. So Juice wasn't jealous. He was concerned.
I wasn't jealous. I wasn't jealous because, like, you know what? I like Beast Mortos. I respect Beast Mortos. He will protect her and defend her. I will support Beast Mortos.
Again, real life Beauty and the Beast. I love seeing it. Moving on.
Sad. Okay. 10-man tag, our main event.
Less than 14, so you might like this one better.
Less than 14. I did like this one better because there were no luchadors in it, except for Beast Mortos, but I don't really count him as a luchador. He's a beast.
And now that he's dating Mercedes, you better talk nice about him.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I've always been a big... Well, not always. That's not a lie. That's a lie. Beast Mortos won me over well before Mercedes time.
Yes.
But
agreed. Same.
So yeah, 10-man tag. Claudio's out. Beast Mortos is in, and we roll on. So it makes it a little bit less like the Anarchy in the Arena match. Mortos was called a big man by commentary last night. Ooh, interesting, Danny. Yeah, so pretty standard 10-man tag. Nothing crazy. It was better, but it still wasn't that good. I mean, the crowd was hyped for Joe, which was awesome to see. Like they popped for their baby faces. They were into the match. It was good. But then again, it just ends with the heels winning kind of out of nowhere. So I didn't really care for it. I mean, it was just whatever.
No, I agree. To answer Jay DeFalco really quick, the Beast Mortos can't be a big man when he is shorter than I am and literally 20 pounds heavier than me. That is not a big man. Moving on from that.
You have his numbers on standby?
He is a scary man. He will kill me. He is not a big man. Moving on from that.
You are absolutely a big man.
10-man tag team. You're not even 6 feet. How is he a big man? He's not even big in basketball. What are we talking about? Anyway.
You are wrong.
This is crazy. 10-man tag team match. I did enjoy it. But just the overall night was meh for me.
Not a good show.
So yeah, it was good. It wasn't great. Highlighted everything that needed to be highlighted. Post-match stuff was exactly what we expected it to be. I'm more upset about the post-match stuff that we didn't get to see.
We'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, this show, I applaud them for doing the show how they did it and not just a straight-up AEW show in Arena, Mexico. They wanted to make it a true crossover with CMLL. So props to them. It's not a show for me. Clearly, I've said this is not my style of wrestling. I don't like a lot of these wrestlers. So I did not like the show at all.
So
I thought with All In a month away, let's move on from this. Let's just start focusing on All In and get there. I don't need this anymore. I'm done. I'm burnt out on this shit.
No, I get it. And I would say that I do agree that this wasn't maybe the right scheduling for it. I think it should have been after All In or whatever. I did enjoy parts of it. Just like I just didn't like how they formatted and I get it. It's CMML. They're going to do all these multi-man tag team matches and stuff like that, and that's fine. But you can add the AEW style into it a little bit, which they didn't, I feel like, try to. So yeah,
also, that ring
just wasn't a good show to me. It seemed it. It really did.
Like, there was no give to that ring.
It didn't look like bouncy at all.
Like you heard Nigel and Excalibur all night, like making oof sounds on bumps because they were hitting hard.
Yeah.
Speaking of bumps in that ring, let's get to our final segment here for the night. First off, honorable mention: Briscoe changing how he bit Okada's finger because he ain't got no front teeth. I did notice that. I loved it. I was gonna put it on here, but for the sake of time, I didn't put it on.
That was funny.
Yes, that was amazing. Solid TV match. Now, for anybody that has not caught it, after the AEW show last night, Ring of Honor did a taping on Global Wars. And I don't know the full match, but the main event was Shane Taylor with the Infantry taking on, I believe, I'm just going to say it's some luchadors. I don't know their names. I apologize. I didn't read the full results. I just saw the video clip. And I think Blue Panther was involved, obviously. And what happened was Shane Taylor and Infantry were beating down Blue Panther. And Bryan Danielson comes back for the first time since getting taken out and gives his Busaiku knee to Shane Taylor and takes a bump in the ring. And now some people will say, yes, this didn't air on TV. It doesn't count. It's not canon, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, no.
It fucking
counts. In this day and age, it's out there. Like, you are 1 month away from All In Texas. 45,000 people probably going to be there for this show. Odds are he's going to be there and come back now. Take a bump. Like, and you do this. It's like you make him take a... I hated it. I hated him coming out, going after Shane. I get he's protecting Blue Panther. It's not about who he's attacking. But, like, you waste that return. I know you want to get the Mexico crowd a pop, but come on. I fucking hated it. It really pissed me off. Like, don't do it. Wait a month. Let those people in Mexico go to Texas. Like, you know, now everybody that's going to Texas is going to see that clip and be like, oh, well, if he was there, he's going to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where's the mystery? Where's the intrigue on the moment of him coming back? He should be coming back to go after the Death Riders. That is one where I know you said that before. We said it about like Darby and Cope and White. That's one has to be
100%.
1,000,000%.
100%.
He can't go after anybody else.
Wouldn't make any sense. I would be fuming. And that's what I was thinking also. Like, it would be different if it was like a guest in the crowd or something like that. If he came out of the crowd because they were getting attacked or whatever. Like, you came out of the back to help him. I think that's kind of bullshit. I like that. That's a surprise return kind of thing. And again, I don't agree if he was in the crowd, he should still do it. I do agree that he should save any of his first action for All In, but I'm saying at least do the circumstance differently. Like, do something different. I didn't like how any of it was done. It doesn't make sense. And it just sucks for, like, fans who should be seeing him.
Yeah. And hey, I know we're getting worked up over a post-show segment that shouldn't count. You know what? It does, and it matters, and it's unfortunate. So
It's saying here that it's... Oh, no, we're back.
Is it? No.
Now it says we're back. Hold on.
It's funny. Oh, hello. Can you all see and hear us? If you can see us and hear us,
now it says we're back. We're back. We're back. We're good.
Okay. Well, we're wrapping up anyway, but I'm just going to quickly get it out there. Looking forward to Collision. It's a live Collision. We don't know anything that's happening. That's good. But I'm very over the Lucha Libre stuff. And I want to get back to focusing on All In.
Yeah, that's what more it is, that we got to start focusing on this big pay-per-view where we have a bunch of these matches that are going to be epic. And if they follow our card from this past Tuesday, which if you didn't watch this last Tuesday, we predicted what we think will be the full card for All In. So go back on Tuesday and check that out. So if they follow our card from this Tuesday, it'll be an even greater pay-per-view. So I'm just really excited to see what they do.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's funny. We actually have more viewers than we've had all night right now.
I know, and that's after we just came back from that pause. All right, that's so
really funny. Well, hello everybody. While you're here, quick plug on Tuesday will be our 100th episode. Swing by on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Oh, we just lost 3 people. What the hell?
Look what you did.
I can't do anything right. Okay, episode 100 on Tuesday. Matt will be joining us. We will be doing our card pack opening, trivia, worst champions in WWE history, It's going to be a huge episode. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Can't
Please
wait.
join us and stay safe and be good out there in the storms and the rain and the heat and whatever the world weather throws at us.
See you Tuesday, and don't forget to listen to the soothing sounds of Accept the Win as we see you later.